Hello friends, today we will discuss about reaction of haloalkane. Reaction of haloalkane. Haloalkane follow the three type of reaction. The first is nucleophilic. Nucleophilic substitution reaction. And the second type is the elimination reaction. And the third type is reaction with metal. So the today's discussion will be limited with the nucleophilic substitution reactions. So as we know, the nucleophilic substitution reaction included the word nucleophile. That means there is a nucleophile which initiate the reaction. Nucleophile means it attract the positive charged carbon, and substitution means the replacement of atom or part of compound that is substrate during reaction. Let's see the example. Here there is a nucleophile, it has negative charge on it, and we can say it is attacking reagent. And it will attack on halide, alkyl halide. So the CX bond is polar because a highly electronegative atom, the negative charge, partial negative charge carry by the electronegative atom. That's why the positive charge is generated as the nucleophile approaches to the carbon. So the CX bond will break and the new carbon nucleophile bond will generate. So this type, here the substrate is alkyl halide. Substrate. Okay, so now let's see some example. NaI is treated with CH3Cl and it is generating CH3I and NaCl. Here the attacking reagent is I negative as a nucleophile and substrate is methyl chloride. Let's see the another example. NaOCH3 and again the substrate is same. Here the nucleophile is OCH3 minus, it will attack and Cl bond will break, so the ether will form. These are the reaction of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now you have to understand the nucleophile can be ambidient also, means it can attack from the both side. For example, let's see the example. KCN is treated with CH3Vr and it is generating CH3Cn and releasing KBr. Here the attacking reagent is Cn minus, but we know by the resonance that it can be also formed in the case of from the nitrogen side lone pair. So in the first case it is attacking from the carbon side, and in the second case it will react from the nitrogen side because AgC is the covalent bond is here. So the attack from this and the formation of isocyanide CH3NC and AgVr. So these are the differences created because of the ambidient attack of nucleophile. And this type of mechanism, we have to understand the mechanism followed by the nucleophilic substitution reaction. The mechanism followed is SN1 and SN2. So first we will understand SN2. Here S is representing the substitution reaction and N is representing the nucleophilic attack, and the 2 is representing the second order reaction. The order of the reaction is second and it is bimolecular reaction. And the most important thing is the SN2 reaction is unimolecular reaction, single step, or bimolecular reaction with the single step formation. Here the steric hindrance play the most important role. Steric hindrance play the most important role to determine the rate of reaction, and in the last the inversion of configuration take place. Inversion of configuration take place. For example, let's understand, this is 1 degree alkyl halide, this is 2 degree alkyl halide, and this is 3 degree alkyl halide. So this is 2 degree and this is 3 degree. Then we can approach, for example, here we can demonstrate here the tetrahedral geometry, and OH will approach. If the OL will approach, the simultaneously OH bond will form with the carbon and Cl bond will break. So this is the transition state, and this is unstable. We cannot isolate this because the 5 bond here the carbon is showing. So that's why it is single step, and it is generated methanol with by leaving the Cl negative. So NaCl will form. So as we can see, if the steric hindrance around the attacking carbon is high, then OH will not proceed to the carbon and the reaction rate will slow. That's why for the SN2 case the steric hindrance should be less. So we can see in the 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, the steric hindrance, the order increasing from 1 to 3. That's why the reaction rate will also decrease. So the order will be 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree in this manner for SN2. Now let's understand SN1. In the case of SN1, it is unimolecular and it is first order kinetics. That means the reaction rate depend on only one product, that is substrate, and it is 2 step. It does not follow the 1 step, and the stable carbocation generated. That means stability of carbocation will determine the rate of reaction for SN1. For example, again we can see in the case of 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, let's generate the stable carbocation. So in the case of 1 degree, the stable carbocation will be like this. For the 2 degree, the stable carbocation will be like this. For the 3 degree, the stable carbocation will be like this. So we can see the more number of hydrogen are around the carbon atom in the case of 3 degree. That's why carbocation is stable for the 3 degree. So the order of stability can be like this, increasing. That's why rate of reaction will be in the like this. Rate of reaction is like this. So we can easily identify which mechanism can be followed by this. Let's understand the stereochemical aspect. stereochemical aspect. So you have to understand the optical activity and chirality and the retention of configuration and inversion of configuration, and in the last the racemization. So let's understand the optical activity. First one, the Nicol is the scientist who discovered the Nicol prism, and when we incident the ordinary light on it, the plane polarized light will generate. And when this light is passes through the sample, that is chemical compound, so the three possibility can be there. For example, rotation of plane polarized light in the left, rotation to left, and the rotation to right, or there is no rotation. So we can understand, if rotation is left, we call this is levo rotatory, and we indicated by minus sign in front of degree of rotation, for example like this, and it is optically active. We call this is optically active. In the case of light rotation, that is clockwise, we say the dextro-rotatory, and this is D form in short we can say, and this is L form in short we can say, and we indicated by the plus charge in front of degree of rotation. This can be equal or this cannot be equal depending upon the different compounds. So that's why both type of compound those shows the rotation can be called the optically active. But if the rotation is not possible, if the rotation is not occur, if rotation does not occur, that means the compound is optically inactive. Now let's understand the concept of stereoasymmetric carbon and stereocenter. Suppose there is a compound that has two mirror images, and both shows the optical rotation, but they are in equal amount. Then we can say the reason why, what is the reason for that? Reason can be the lack of symmetry, or asymmetric carbon as stereocenter, act as stereocenter. Suppose, so how can we say? The scientist predicted that if the carbon atom have that four different group R1, R2, R3, R4, then the center will be asymmetric. and stereo center is asymmetric and the compound will be optically active. So example can we think, for example like this, 4 different group, and we can also think about like this. These are optically active compounds with the stereo center 1. Now let us understand the enantiomer. Enantiomer occur in the case of asymmetric carbon center. So the most important thing is enantiomers are non-superimposable image showing. For example, if the differ in rotation, the compound is differ in rotation. For example, for plane polarized light, D and L form exist and they are identical in melting point, boiling point and refractive index. In the 10th class you have already studied about the refractive index, depends upon the medium in which the light is traveled. So in the case of symmetric compound, mirror image is superimposable. So the compound is achiral. Let's understand by the example. Suppose this is the compound, and in the 11th class we have already studied that if we make the darker the waves, if it is out of the plane, if the group is below the plane, then we show by the dash line, and OH and hydrogen are in the same plane, we make the mirror image. If mirror image we make, then this type of image you can see. If we rotate it by 180, then again the same compound will generate. So we can see these are superimposable image. That means they are optically inactive. And we can identify here the two groups are same. Those are methyl group. Let's see the another example. Suppose this is the compound, and now I am not repeating the same thing because dark waves representing the out of the plane and the dash waves representing the inward of the plane, OH and H are in the same plane. We are making here again the same mirror image. So the image will be like this. When we rotate it by 180, the image will look like this. The outward group will go to the inward and inward group will go for the outwards. So we can see these images are, these compounds are non-superimposable. That means chiral. That means optically active. Their D and L form exist. and we can represent it by plus minus degree sign. So now let's understand in the case of nucleophile SN1 SN2 substitution, how can we explain this? Suppose for the case of SN2, this is 1 degree alkyl halide and this nucleophile is approaching. So hydrogens are toward the OH group, but during transition these groups goes away from the OH. So the complete inversion of configuration take place. Inversion of configuration shown by SN2 mechanism. Let's understand SN1. In the case of SN1, we are taking the stereo compound optically active center like this. So in this case, suppose the Y is approaching. So there is two possibility, the Y can approach from the other two sides. Again, so suppose this is A, and if Y is approaching from the another side, then the compound will be like this. So in the compound formation by the SN1 mechanism, you will see A and V together with 50% concentration or amount. The mixture is called the racemic mixture. So this is optically inactive sample. Optically inactive because plus x degree, here the minus x degree will cancel out each other in the sample when we pass the plane polarized light to the sample. No deflection of light take place. So this is all about the stereochemical aspect for the SN1 and SN2. So let's summarize in detail. So we are studying here the reaction of haloalkane. Haloalkane reaction can be three type, for example nucleophilic substitution and elimination reaction and reaction with metals. Here the discussion is limited to the nucleophilic substitution reactions. The nucleophilic substitution reactions started with the nucleophile as a attacking reagent and alkyl halide act as a substrate. CX bond is polar, that's why the Nu approaches and the CX bond will break. The mechanism will follow the two method, for example SN1 and SN2. In the case of SN2, it is single step reaction and the rate determined by the steric hindrance. In the result, the inversion of configuration take place because OH minus cannot approach from the side of chlorine because of 3 lone pair. Because of 3 lone pair, the repulsion will occur. So that's why the inversion of configuration take place and the order can be like increasing order 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. So the 1 degree will have the highest rate of reaction in the case of SN2, but in the case of SN1 the unimolecular reaction take place. So the first order kinetic that depends on the only substrate, concentration of substrate and the stability of the carbocation will determine the product. So we can see here the stability of the carbocation for 3 degrees higher as compared to the 1 degree. That's why the 3 degree alkyl halide will proceed with the fast rate of reaction. The stereochemical aspect we can see here, the optical activity, chirality, retention of configuration and inversion of configuration. The optical activity we can understand like the Nicol prince, when we introduce or incident the ordinary light, it generates the plane polarized light, but the plane polarized light will pass through the sample. Then there are 3 cases: the rotation can be left for the light, and rotation to the right, and there is no rotation. If there is no rotation, that means the compound is optically inactive. If there is rotation, whether it is left or right, it is said to be the optically active compound. So, if the rotation of the compound to the left, it can be the levorotatory, and we represent as the L form, and we represent by the minus sign. For the right rotation, we represent with the plus sign, the D form. We can say the dextrorotatory. The rotation does not occur, then the compound is optically inactive. So, you have to understand the compound suppose have the 2 mirror image and both are showing the equal amount of rotation. In the case of left to the right, then we can say here it has the lack of symmetry, means the compound contains the asymmetric carbon. So, the reason behind the equal rotation is understood in the term of carbon that have the 4 different group. So, that is why the compound is called the optically active. In this case, we have given the 2 examples here. So, in the case of enantiomer, DLL forms are like this. When we take the mirror image and rotate by 180 degree, then the final compound will not on superimpose to the initial one. So, that is we can say the groups are enantiomer. So, we have taken the 2 example very clearly. Thank you so much.